High School band's going to
play here. Glendale High School of some great football teams, but unfortunately the last 4 years they've hit on some hard times. And maybe tonight can be the start of turning it around.
Well, here's part of it. The experience, 9 of 22 starting positions filled with sophomores and juniors, and Sunnyslope 12 of 22. So they're trying to regroup for the future. Glendale, of course, having a little bit of problems with the victories the last few years. They've won 3 games out of the last 42. Sunnyslope had some strong teams 2-3 years ago, but last 2 years have been struggling. And they're also on the regroup. Sunnyslope going to have the ball first, and there's a handoff on the kickoff. And Chris Wearing getting the handoff. Just comes up to the 17-yard line. Taking a look at the offense for Sunnyslope. The tackles, Tim Mayfield and Matt Davis. The guards, Mike Napoleon and Ken Hill. The center, Brian Belair. In the backfield, tight end Kevin Dyer, number 41. Chris Waring, number 24, the wingback. Fullback Rob Turner, number 30. Lowell Howard, halfback, number 32. Jason Freed, the split end, number 88. The quarterback, Chad Bilbrey, number 18. Chad is a sophomore.
Glendale Cardinals defensive line. Jason, well, we lost the graphics there.
We'll get the defensive line in just a little bit. Handoff on the first play. Big hole up the middle. Lowell Howard for a first down. Howard picks up 11 yards on the first play. So the Vikings get a first down right off the bat.
Taking a look at the defensive line, I think we're going to have a quick snap here, Harry.
Well, we'll look at that again quickly. They're getting right back up on the line. And a quick handoff. This time Glendale caught him right away.
Good play defensively by Glendale to stop that.
Tim Willis was the ball handler for no gain.
They're going quick again.
And another handoff, a slant off left tackle, and a big gain for Lowell Howard. He picks up a gain of 6.
Chad Roth, free safety, number 16, sometimes quarterback for Glendale. Good play, preventing that from being longer. They're going quick once again. This is interesting. We haven't seen this all season.
Well, there might be a reason that happened a couple of years ago for this. This time on the slant, the keeper, and there's a flag thrown in the middle of the pile.
Looks like a personal foul.
Well, there's a gain of 10 yards again for Lowell Howard, who has 29 yards and 4 carries, and the third first down for the Vikings. And again, a quick set on the option. Flip back again to Howard, finds a hole and dives forward close to the first down. And as we were beginning to say earlier, the reason they're going for that quick set is worked against them. And they pick up 11 yards up to the 26-yard line.
Well, Glendale's got to play a little tougher here. They're allowing him, Harry, to go 9, 10, 11 yards at a clip. And I think they're being a little confused right now, which is, hey, it would confuse almost anybody to have that type of quick hurry-up offense.
The Vikings have 40 yards, all on the ground and all from Lowell Howard. Tim Willis had 1 carry, no gain. From the 26, first and 10. Little movement on the line, and there go the whistles. And the flag's thrown. Once again, what we were talking about, there's Lowell Howard, and he's averaging 4.1 yards a carry with a touchdown, has 207 yards.
It's good average.
Yeah. Now, final game of the season 2 years ago, Sunnyslope played against Coconino, and Coconino came down with a new quarterback. The other quarterback was sick, and he didn't know the play, so he had to audible right there on the line. And every play was an audible, and that really messed up the defense. And Coconino defeated, at that point, an undefeated Sunnyslope team.
There's another penalty against Glendale.
It's an offsides against Glendale. I guess there was contact before they moved back, so 5 more yards against Glendale. That's their second penalty right here in this drive. From the 21, first and 5 for the Vikings. Head coach for the Sunnyslope Vikings, Tim Evans. And the head coach for the Glendale Cardinals, Tom Hernandez. And Tom trying to figure out what to do to turn this team around. And off again goes to Howard. He's inside the 10. Howard down at the 7. A pickup of 14 yards for Lowell Howard.
Again, they're just busting through the front line, which is unfortunate, you know, for Glendale. You have your cornerback, Jimmy Lee, making the stop.
Quarterback Chad Bilbrey, he's a sophomore. 183 yards, 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. He's hit 12 out of 27. His older brother was a starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, Ryan Bilbrey. Handoff on the slant to the left side for a touchdown. There it goes again to Lowell Howard for 7 more yards. 61 yards plus 20 yards in penalties, 81 total yards on the drive. And the Vikings take a 6-0 lead right off the bat. First drive in the game. Took them just 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Now getting ready for the extra point. Left-footed kicker.
We like those.
There's a boot by Bilbrey, and it's good. So, with 8 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's Sunnyslope 7, Glendale nothing. 40, Mark Drain. If you see any vibration on the screen, the people on the stands are banging their feet, and it's a short kick. Goes to number 86, Eddie Williamson. And Eddie brings the ball across the 35 to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Cardinals. Scoring drive, 7 plays, 78 yards, 3 minutes, 12 seconds. And a 7-yard run by Lowell Howard. Okay, they actually give him another yard on that, put it at the 39-yard line. And a handoff right in the line. It was no secret to the Sunnyslope Vikings. He might have gained a yard.
Well, they gathered around that ball. They had everybody but the free safety and one of the cornerbacks was around that.
Jim Heen got a yard on that one. The game we did with the Glendale Cardinals and Washington Rams a couple of weeks ago, Jim Heen had 32 yards. Quarterback Gene Wright hit 3 out of 9 passes plus an interception, and we'll see what Gene can do here. The quarterback, Gene Wright, he's a junior, 160 pounds. They're at the 40, 2nd and 9. Fake pass, and he is caught from behind after a double pump. Big sack.
And the sacker was a cornerback, number 44, Kyle Shirk, 5'9" senior for Sunnyslope. He was in on him quickly, didn't have a chance.
Well, they lose 4 yards on the sack. It's now 3rd down and 13. Glendale's going to have to be quicker. They have to be quicker off the line to get things rolling.
They're going to blitz him again. They're set.
The ball just stayed right there and recovered by Sunnyslope. Looks like the snap never got into the hands of Gene Wright. And one of the Sunnyslope Vikings right next to the football, not getting right up. Might have gotten a little bit of the wind knocked out of him in the middle of that pile.
That's what it looks like.
And he jumped right on it. Well, they're checking out his right leg. So it'll be Sunnyslope's football at the 36-yard line. Let's take a break. With 6 minutes, 53 Glendale territory, 1st and 10.
Set up expecting the run once again, Harry. It's all Sunnyslope shown.
They use the veer. Handoff into the line. And a lot of action going on a yard forward. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that was a good play for Glendale. That's what they need to do. They need to be able to stop that, see if Sunnyslope's quarterback can throw, maybe take a chance for an interception. They got to stop those runs. You know, a gain of 1 or maybe none. Hey, that's a great play. You got to do that more often.
They give him a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 35. In the backfield, Lowell Howard 32, Tim Willis 34. And the veer flips it back to Howard finds a big hole on the left side and slants out of bounds inside the 20. Well, they mark it at the 25. So he's got the first down as he picks up 10 more yards. And Lowell Howard just running all over the Glendale defense.
Taking a look at that play once again.
Watch this sweep. There it is. The option.
Should have had him.
The veer option, and there he goes right out of bounds at the 25, 10-yard gain. And the 6th first down for the Vikings. Pass down the right side. It is intercepted by the Glendale Cardinals. And that's the kind of boost the Cardinals need. It looks like he aimed directly at Jimmy Lee of the Cardinals.
Well, I think that was probably a timing pattern that wasn't timed very well, but that was, you saw that. As I said before he even caught it, it was going to be an interception.
Yeah, Jimmy Lee was back there. It looked like he was the intended receiver. On the right side, Jason Freed, number 88, looked like he was going after the football.
Yeah, but they're deep in their own territory.
Definitely deep. At the 3, 1st and 10. See if the Cardinals can move it from here. Handoff, breaks a couple of tackles. Jim Heen picked up maybe 3 yards. Well, it was Brian Kilpatrick, number 33. He picked up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. They have to get to the 13-yard line.
Well, you see the way that Sunnyslope set up. They don't expect Glendale to pass very much. So they only have a couple of safeties back, and everybody's looking for that run.
This time it goes to Heen, and Heen slants up close to the 10. And he gets to the 9-yard line, picks up 3 more. It'll be 3rd and 3. Coming out of the ball game, number 24, Mike Castrovinci, coming back in with the play. Brian Kilpatrick, number 33. So we'll look at Kilpatrick, 33. Jim Heen, number 42. 3rd down and 3. And there's a handoff to Heen, finds a big hole, and comes across the 25 to the 26-yard line, a big gain of 17 yards.
And what happened there? There was a big hole. You're right, Harry. The front line of Glendale just blew off the whole defensive front line of Sunnyslope. I mean, there was a gigantic hole. And plus, he did about 10 yards of it on his own. It was great.
Let's take a look at that run again. There's Heen. Look at that.
Hole.
He was surprised he had a big hole there, too. Had the ball protected going into the line, expecting some resistance. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Cardinals. Good movement with the football. Into the line and carrying a few defenders was Brian Kilpatrick. And Kilpatrick up to the 24-yard line. Rather, the 29-yard line, picks up 3. 2nd down and 7 from the 29.
Well, you know, Sunnyslope, even in their losses, they haven't been really blown out too many times. They've lost some tough games, so they're well coached. They got a pretty good defense. They just have had trouble scoring.
Handoff on misdirection play, and there's a flag.
I think there's going to be face mask, I think, on that one.
That was a nice play. The ball went to Jim Heen, and we'll see what they call a big gain for Heen. A gain of 8, face mask against Sunnyslope, so it's after the play. So they give Jim Heen a 7-yard gain, a 1st down, and then the penalty. Let's see if we can catch it.
You'll be able to see the face mask. Watch his head go down.
Right there, just barely caught that. And then they add more yards to it. That's the first penalty against Sunnyslope.
Hey, if Glendale comes and scores here, we're going to have ourselves a football game.
And it'll be great for the Glendale crowd. Win a home game. A flip to Heen on the outside, and he sweeps left. Picks up another good bunch of yardage, crosses midfield. And he's down to the 43, 42-yard line. Give him a little break there.
Well, it's pretty good pursuit, Harry, by the rest of Sunnyslope, by their linebackers and one of their cornerbacks, and strung that play out. If they hadn't had such a good pursuit, he could have gone upfield, and there was nobody back there.
2nd and 5 from the 42. Glendale now in Sunnyslope territory. Again, handoff, second man on the line, Jim Heen. Crosses the 40 down to the 39, picks up 3 more yards.
There's some good hitting going down on both sides. Sunnyslope hitting hard. Glendale's hitting hard now.
3rd down. They need a couple. Well, a long one. 3rd down and a long one.
Sunnyslope expects a run.
And it is, goes to Heen, finds a big hole, and dives forward close to the 30-yard line. They're going to give him the 30. A gain of 9 yards for Jim Heen. 3rd first down in this drive for the Cardinals. Big break for them. Let's look at this play again. There's Heen, number 42.
Big hole.
Big one, right into the line. Back to the live action. First man in the line, Kilpatrick. And he's gained about 5 more. We'll see where they mark it down. Give him a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, they're moving it into Sunnyslope territory. They're at the 26-yard line.
Here's where all the yardage always, no matter what level of football, it gets tough down here.
This is what they need to do, is hold on to that football, keep it moving. Again, they go to Kilpatrick, and he's hit right at the line. He tried to move to the right side of the line, went man-to-man down the line, and every time he looked, there was another white and green jersey.
He was met at the line by one of the cornerbacks. He read that very well, Chris Waring, number 24. First downs, Glendale has 3 on this drive, and Sunnyslope had 6 on their original drive.
Sunnyslope was attempting to go back after a fumble, and each team now has a turnover, 1 fumble against Glendale and an intercepted pass against Sunnyslope. So it's 3rd down and 6 from the 26. There's movement. And we'll see if it's encroachment or if they were enticed off by the Glendale line. We'll watch.
It'll be against Sunnyslope.
And it's going to be encroachment against Sunnyslope. There it is, 5 more yards. It makes it 3rd and 1. Second penalty against the Vikings. Each team has 2 for 20 yards. There you go, everybody cheering. Okay.
Hey, 5 yards is 5 yards.
That's 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 6. Handoff right in the line to Kilpatrick, and I don't think he made it to the 20. They were at the 21. They had to get to the 20. There's a football right there at the 21-yard line, and that's the end of the first quarter. So there was no gain on that. At the end of 1 quarter, the score is Sunnyslope 7, Glendale nothing. We'll be back with the 4th down play right after this.
And trucks, all monster clearance priced, all available with no down payment.
The referees are now making sure that with the side judge, and we take a look at some of the crowd here at Glendale High School. At halftime, we're going to give you an opportunity to watch the Glendale High School band. They're going to do their routine out on the field, and we think it's nice to let you see what the band does on the field, what they look like, and some of the interesting festivities goes on at the high school games, and their band, one of the top in the state.
They're calling for a measurement, see how much they need.
No, what they're doing, they just want to make sure they mark the football correct on the other side of the field, because they measured it before they took it from the other side. They want to make sure that about half length of the football that's necessary is correct. You see the distance right there. They have to get to that yard line, and I guess it's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. You see the referee giving you the measurement right there.
Not
about
much.
a foot. 4th and a foot. See if Glendale can be quick enough with their count and dive right into the line.
Now Sunnyslope's loading up on their defensive line.
Gene Wright, the quarterback. Kilpatrick They flip the ball outside this time to Joe Ramos, who gets the first down and then some. Joe Ramos close to the 10-yard line, picked up maybe 10 yards. We'll see where they mark it.
That was a good call by Glendale because Sunnyslope was loaded up on the front line. They expected him, either a quarterback to sneak it, maybe the halfback or fullback to punch it in, and he didn't.
They were keying in on number 33, Brian Kilpatrick, who was in the fullback position. There's Joe Ramos. Big hole. Oh, that was Mike Costello, excuse me, number 34, Costello. There's Costello again. This time they catch him at the line, and he couldn't get away. They got up to the 10-yard line.
And he met big number 77, Tim Mayfield. He is one of the top linebackers in the state, one of the top, the top prospects for college in the state, too. It's a senior, 6'2", 195 pounds.
Mike Castillo was the running back. There's number 34, Castillo, at the right of your screen. There's Kilpatrick, number 33. Split right, rolling right to pass Gene Wright. He's got an open field to run. He's going to keep it. Now he stops, throws towards the end zone. There's nobody there. He would have been better off keeping it. There was no one around him. And then he stops close to the line of scrimmage and threw it to nobody.
Yeah, that pass also had a good shot at being intercepted. There was a couple of white and green jerseys around that ball.
I think he expected a couple of his
players
deep
to come back.
men on the right side to come across the middle, and neither one of them did. They stayed on the right side. So it's going to be third down. They still have enough room to get a first down. They're about a yard away from the goal line if they get a first down. Same play. Now he throws to the side, and he threw it.
By Sunnyslope. Couple of linebackers, and looks like the free safety also covered him on that.
Try a field goal. Looks like they are marking it. Attempt.
Think they're going to try anything, any razzle-dazzle on this one?
There's a remote possibility, attempting to kick it, Jose Gutierrez. He's a senior. There's a coming near the sideline, picked up by one of the big guys from the 25.
And that's defensive tackle and offensive tackle, a dual player, Don Hagan. You're right, he is a big guy, 227, 6'1", and he's a senior.
Well, a good drive by the Cardinals. Weeks ago, the Cardinals had a good drive, and it stalled inside the 20. And the confidence going when that happens. They will watch the block right here. There's the boot, and it's blocked right there.
And it's blocked by the guy who picked it up.
Same guy, Hagen. Howard, close to the first down, he gets some. Picks up 12 more yards for Lowell Howard. He now Vikings. In the first quarter, you see the comparison. Total yardage 72 to 55, all of it on the ground. One turn. Slope getting one touchdown.
Well, Glendale here has got to make something happen again. Get the ball back, stop.
Wide receivers on the right side. It goes to Lowell Howard, sweeping the left side. 17 more yards for Howard. He's got 101 yards in the game.
By Bill Lester, number 70, but he is a tackle, and he's the one who made the stop.
Well, they're moving it back now to the 4. There's the big run. So give him 59 yards. Another big.
There's a flag.
Tim Willis, there's a flag on the play. Up 14 yards. after the play. We'll see what they do here.
Right. You ever have your face mask pulled?
Oh, yeah. And at that time, it wasn't a penalty, so they really... So another 50 yards. And at that time, the face masks weren't as intricate as they are today. It was 2 bars sometimes to protect someone from sticking the whole fist. Fingers. Just enough to cut
Make
your
it
nose, your lip. Well, this time the handoff went through from the 20-yard line and squeezed nowhere.
Well, that's right. When you played football, they just started with helmets, didn't they?
Yeah, right. The old leather. Those things were fun.
Those guys were tough.
Yeah, you had to be.
They looked tough, too.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the pro football players that are retired now. And a touchdown. Boy, is he doing a job. And off to Howard. Right. Four, maybe 5 yards. Give him a gain of 4, so it's 3rd down and 6.
One thing that you're seeing once again. And he's very strong, and he's a good football player, and they need to just stop him right in his tracks.
Chad Bilbrey, quarterback, hands off again to Howard. Howard dives down. And they mark it at the 11, so they're short by a yard. A 5-yard gain for Howard.
Yeah, Mark Drain, who's one of the ends for Glendale number 40, stop and prevented that from becoming a 1st down. Good play.
4th and 1. Weighs 176 versus Paul Howard's 142 for the 1 yard. And it's a handoff to Howard. I was wrong. Howard gets the first. He picks up 4 yards for the 1st down. Sunnyslope with 9.
Another thing that was interesting, would have expected from what Sunnyslope's done.
Now watch the movement to the left, and there goes Howard up the middle. 4 more yards. They are now at the 7. First. And one of the defenders from Glendale got him right around the ankles, and that stopped any forward movement.
Again, it was Mark Drain, number 40, making the tackle on that play. That's the type of play that they have to make to stop them right here.
2nd and goal from the 6. 2 receivers wide right. There's a movement in the backfield, and
I think he came over too fast.
well, it looked like Lowell Howard moved.
They got the
at the 7-yard line. Again, probably going to be declined. No doubt about that.
Well, let's hope so.
That's declined, a little obvious. As we take a look at the referee say, decline, no way, Jose. Glendale gets it back. Again, deep in their own territory.
Now they've got to put it together, Harry.
There's a turnover. Sunnyslope 2. They had a fumble and an intercepted pass. There was one against Glendale. Fumble. Flip on the outside. That was a good move by Heen. Put a little acceleration on as he crossed the 15. Picks up 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Was hit there by Mike Fitzgerald, one of the linebackers, number 50, 6-foot senior. Put a good hit.
Okay, 2nd and 1. Hand off Tried to slant across the left side, and Heen went nowhere. Well, we'll see if he got enough for the first down. He had to get to the 17. They may call for the measurement. Nope. It's going to be 4th down and 1 still. So Heen went nowhere that time. Third down and 1 for the first down. They're going to keep that ball on the ground. This time they give it to Kilpatrick, who has a big hole.
Fumble
fights
ball.
his way forward. It's a live football. And this time Sunnyslope recovers. Another turnover. Glendale coaching staff yelling that the ball was down before it went loose, that his knees hit the ground before it was fumbled.
And that's what they're going to call it.
And the referee did turn that over. He said, yes,
let's take
still
a look
Glendale
at it.
ball. Let's watch. Right there. He was down before that ball hit. First down up to the 33, and a good gain of 17 yards for Kilpatrick.
It's one of those close plays there, Harry.
Play director.
That's right. That was a replay situation. As they always say,
well, let's see what they can do here now. Here's Gene. He's being
And
rushed.
he is
Gene
sacked.
Wright was sacked. Nowhere to go. They knew he was going back to pass. Back to the 23-yard line.
and looks like Mike Fitzgerald's the only number that it could have picked up, and he gets himself 1/3 of a sack there.
A sack of 10 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 20. Timeout. Glendale Cardinals with 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in our first half. It's Sunnyslope 7, Glendale nothing. We'll be back with action right after this.
This is Al McCoy, and let me introduce you to Max's, the even wedding receptions. But for you sports fans, Max's is special. Whatever sports is in season, you'll see them all. Appetite for lunch and dinner with the best pork tenderloin sandwich west of Iowa. Max's, 47th Avenue, a block south of Glendale.
When it comes to defining value, Larry Miller and domestics, twice the selection, twice the savings, twice the luxury, and twice the fun. And service, double it. Service and parts are open 6 days a week, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Double value. Larry Miller Chrysler Plymouth Mazda, the value store.
Cardinals now have 91 offensive yards against the Vikings 127. The Cardinals have held the football a good 4 or 5 minutes more than some is when they get inside the 20. They've stalled. Now, had one good drive. They've turned the ball over twice. Glendale's turned the ball over once. I think they're still in the football.
Taking a look at Jim Heen, he's got 9 carries, 54 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry, and they've got a good chance to. And let's hope that they
start picking out bigger chunks of yardage, especially on the first down plays. That's a pick out some big chunks of yardage on your first down play. It makes your third downs a little bit easier, but if you're going to have to go 2nd and 8,
playing against a team that committed eight turnovers last week, and they've already got 2 in the game. They've got to capitalize.
back to pass. Right, he's sacked again. There's defenders back there, 4 defenders, or 4 offensive linemen to block, and there were 6 defenders.
This penalty goes. Looks like it's going to be against Glendale.
Holding against the Cardinals. That was about the only thing he can do to delay the sack, which was a 6 yards.
Abandoning the run, which was so successful in the last drive.
It's declined. third down and 26 yards. This is going to be a tough one. They need some good blocking up front. Third down, half the territory. See if they go wide receivers, both on the right. Wide right with Kevin Kinslow.
Sunnyslope expected.
Well, they tried to fake it a little bit on a delay handoff, and it was a loss. Yards. The handoff to Jim Heen, rid of it from deep in their own territory at the 10.
Possession. And they are in the backfield, pressuring the quarterback and any of the running backs who have the ball, even before they're very quick.
They're at the 11-yard line, so there's a snap, the boot, good bunt, and it's pushed. Waring back, there's a flag thrown as Waring comes inside the 25-yard line. We'll see who the penalty is against.
Well, it should be against. Flip.
The flag was thrown up near the 40-yard line. Ran out of bounds at the 25. They're moving back up and moving the moving the Vikings back from the site of the penalty, which is the 39-yard line. They move into Sunnyslope territory at the 46 for a 15-yard penalty. A clip against the Vikings. Both teams have now been penalized for 35 yards each.
And here's another opportunity for Glendale to put it together and
cause another. Howard, 15 carries, 113 yards. That's right. It's only the first half. 3:19 remaining in the first half. Rolling, and it's a keeper. Chad Bilbrey on the veer option. Picks up 5 yards. They're into Glendale territory.
Again, that worked so well the first drive for him.
2nd and 5. Handoff up the middle. And this time Tim Willis picked up 4, maybe 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Here's a big test for Glendale's defense, Harry. Got to stop them here.
It looked like the intended receiver of the handoff, which was back's hand, they held on to it.
Like we said earlier, last week, we've already got 3.
Handoff, and nobody was there because so Bilbrey turned around and loss of 2 yards. Glendale will receive on the turnover.
Well, Glendale's defense.
Gene Wright goes out on the field. We take a look. Wide receivers on the Lee. Rolling to Lee, and it's over, complete. Good defensive move by Troy Smiley, strong safety. Things to keep an eye on
as far as defensive interference and things like that.
Second down. Quick pass to the outside to Roth. Roth is going to throw downfield. But it was him and 4 Sunnyslope defenders.
The quarterback for Sunnyslope, also free safety, was almost a recipient of that pass there. Lands.
And you see back there, it was close, almost intercepted. He's got to throw. Complete, but not enough for the first down. Picks up 5 yards. Today.
Well, you know Sunnyslope's going to be set up.
It's a good boot.
One thing Glendale's done very
Waring back there at the 20. A pickup of 8 yards. With 27 seconds remaining in the first half, it's
back to school. You're in a school band or just like music. Arizona Music Center is the place. Or visit Arizona Music Center.
There's the quarterback. Play again. right away, and there's a timeout by the Cardinals.
Of all the Japanese car service, and lots of it. In fact, to find a transmission, and they don't offer towing.
AMCO, AA, MC.
And we'll see if the Cardinals can stop the Vikings. The football now marked at the 40. As I look at the yard markers now, it looks like they moved them back a yard.
I know, I don't know.
At first they were at the 41. Now the yard marker is at the 42. And the down marker is at the 47. Glendale with 2 timeouts remaining, 1 for Sunnyslope, but only 13 seconds. They may get another playoff, maybe 2, and that's about it. They're going to have to put it up in the air if they want to get close to get on the boards again. Only 1 touchdown in this ball game, and that on the first drive by Sunnyslope. After that, neither team has been able to move it downfield and score. Glendale moved it inside the 10 and was stalled right there. All right, we're getting ready for the final 13 seconds. Coming wide right, Chris Waring. Wide left, Jason Freed. Back to pass, Chad Bilbrey.
Intercepted.
And it's intercepted by the Cardinals.
Should go out of bounds.
And he runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line with 2 seconds remaining. There's a flag on the play.
Got another face mask.
A clip against the Cardinals.
Clip?
Clip against the Cardinals. The ball is at the 40. It's going to move them back with 2 seconds remaining. They won't have much time.
Well, they'll get 1 playoff.
Well, with timeout on the field, with 2 seconds left, it's Sunnyslope 7, Glendale nothing. Back with the final 2 seconds after this.
To San Chevrolet's giant monster clearance sale. Over 400 new cars and trucks, all monster clearance priced, all available with no down payment. Like 30 new Geo Metros, Spectrums, and S10 pickups. Your choice, $69.95, $139 a month. New 89 Camaros and Berettas from $99.95. Even Astro vans and full-size 4x4s from $199 a month. All no down payment. Or get up to $750 cash back. Don't miss this giant monster clearance only till dark Monday at San Chevrolet Yugo, the heartbeat of Arizona.
Well, 15-yard penalty against Glendale and timeout against Glendale. A moot point, but there's 1 timeout left on each side with 2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, you know Sunnyslope's going to be looking for the infamous Hail Mary, maybe?
Possible if he has enough time to get it off. The Sunnyslope line has been getting in there pretty quick. Well, it looks like the coaching staff is still out on the field talking to the Vikings. So the Cardinals have to go back in their huddle. See if the Cardinals can come out with something different in the second half to wake them up a bit and get downfield. There were a few good drives where they marched into Sunnyslope territory, and then the drives died. I think it'll be a good boost for them if they can get down and score in this game.
Yeah, they're not set up to pass at all. Sunnyslope's back there expecting them to do that.
And as we mentioned, 8 turnovers last week by Sunnyslope. Wright still looking to pass, finally gets one off. It's complete at the 45-yard line, and that's the end. It went to Andy Harrington. It was a first down. He picked up 11 yards, but that's about it. 1 out of 5 for Gene Wright. So right here, we're going to take a chance, and we'll take a break. We're going to give you a little something different at halftime. Instead of having an interview, we're going to let you take a look at the Glendale High School band, and we'll take a look at some of the seniors out on the football field too with the football team as they line up getting ready to go into the locker room and watch one of the top bands in the state. So we'll be back with the halftime festivities with Sunnyslope leading 7-0. Be back right after this.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Big Tex, Big Bill's little cousin, and this here's my son, Billy Joe Bob. And we're here to tell you that Big Bill's got wheels. Lots of wheels. Custom wheels for cars, trucks, vans, dang near everything. Ain't that right, son? Good-looking boy, isn't he? Why, I've never seen so many wheels in one place, and they're all right here at Big Bill's Deals of Wheels. Tell them about it, Billy Joe Bob. The boy's smart, isn't he? Come on now to Big Bill's Deals of Wheels to see me, Big Tex, my cousin Big Bill, or my son, Billy Joe Bob. And I guarantee you this ain't no bill.
Big Bill's Deals and Wheels.
This is Al McCoy, and let me introduce you to Max's, the place for good sports, good food, and good friends. The private banquet room at Max's is home for alumni and booster groups, even wedding receptions. But for you sports fans, Max's is special. Whatever sports is in season, you'll see them all. Over 150 live TV sporting events each week. Max's is the home of the world's largest football helmet display. Bring your appetite for lunch and dinner with the best pork tenderloin sandwich west of Iowa. Max's, 47th Avenue, a block south of Glendale.
Well, at halftime, you see a lot of people going out on the football field. What turned out to be family night. So the football players are now staying on the football field as their family members are going out to their respective sons or brothers or sisters, whoever comes out on the football field. I think that's a nice touch on a football evening. Get a chance to have the parents meet with the football players on the field, and you get a chance to see the cheerleaders
And their parents.
Cheerleaders and their parents. They're all out there on the football field, stretching from the east 10-yard line all the way down to the west 20-yard line.
Now they're introducing the team and their parents.
There they are. And every one of the ladies getting some flowers out there, being handed out by the head of the cheerleaders. Give you a chance to meet some of the players. You know, it would have been a lot of fun to have all these pictures up on a wall and have the parents try and have people try to guess which parents match with which football players.
I know that would be a tough time. They try to with my father they'd be able to, but my mom no.
Not at all with mine. My father was 235 pounds, and I've had problems pushing 180. And I'm about an inch or two taller. You know, taking a look at the beginning of the season while we're watching the parents and the players being introduced, the preseason prognostications. Sunnyslope says they finished 4-6 last year in Tim Evans' first year as head coach, and they could struggle because of inexperience. Only 9 let him in return, but Evans has faith in first-year quarterback Ryan Bilbrey, who was a senior. He was a starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. His brother Chad, who's a sophomore, has taken over. For the Glendale Cardinals, it says they won more games last year than they had 2 previous seasons. That was 3. Coach Tom Hernandez lost most of last year's team to graduation, and he's got to find some skilled players to get that winning movement again here at Glendale High School with the Cardinals. And right now you're looking at a team that is struggling. They need that score. They need to take a lead in a football game. And once that happens, I think they'll have the confidence that they can actually go out there and win on a consistent basis.
Well, I think they've shown good promise with their defense. Their defense played well, helping to cause those turnovers by Sunnyslope, and that's what they need to translate into scores on the other end. Offense has got to pick up the ball, so to speak, and do it.
Well, they're still announcing some of the football players out there with their parents. Line is stretching out a little bit now. They're going to go down to the end zone on the east end of the field.
At least the football will get there, right?
They're down in the 80s now. They're going in numerical order.
Albert and Hilda Grijalva, parents of number 81, Mark Grijalva.
And we'll even get a chance to meet the cheerleaders.
Parents of number 82, Terry Belden. Mr. and Mrs. Valenzuela, parents of number 84, Hector Valenzuela. Mr. Ron Fink, parent of number 85, Steve Fink. Gary and Bufa Williamson, parents of number 86, Eddie Williamson. Lynn and Trudy Frazier, parents of number 88, George Frazier. Nita Noga and John Jonke, parents of number 89, John Jonke. The parents of our football managers, Bob and Jackie Fairfield, parents of Deanna Meir. Chris and Ginny Will, parents of Vicki Brasher. Mike and Pam Martin, parents of
everybody, including the managers.
Stephen and Sue Strati, parents of Nicole Strati.
That's a good way of getting some involvement.
Now for the Spirit Line.
Ortega and Nisi, parents of Lillian Ortega.
That would make quite a poster, wouldn't it, Harry?
I think it's nice, yes.
Parents of Billy Miller. Mr. and Mrs. Merkel, Kristen Merkel's parents. Mr. and Mrs. Passmore, parents of Alice Passmore. Mrs. Frazier, parents of Heather Frazier. Mr. and Mrs. Benson, parents of Amy Workman. Mrs. Crane and Randy, parents of Sunday Crane. Mrs. Keppers, parent of Tracy Gornecki. Mr. and Mrs. Evans, parents of Rachel Evans. Mrs. Guerrero, parents of Lisette Guerrero. Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, parents of Regina Rogers. Mr. Turner and Ms. Smith, parents of Jennifer Turner. Mr. and Mrs. Lopez, parents of Olivia Lopez.
Well, I think that's great, getting everybody introduced like that. I mean, we were lucky if they had our names spelled right in the programs.
My name was never spelled right.
Football managers and Spirit Line.
Or if you were as lucky as I was to have the name completely off in one of the programs. Who was that phantom number 47? Well, the players are going to go in the locker room now to see if they can regroup. And we're going to take this opportunity to watch the Glendale High School Marching Band. If you remember, a few weeks ago, we introduced the band director and interviewed him, talked about some of the competition that the band has been in. And now we have an opportunity to watch the band in action. Well, waiting for the band to start the movement. There's the head major taking his first few steps, and see what routine they do tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 1988 Glendale High School Cardinal Marching Band under the direction of Mrs.
We're watching the halftime celebration here at Glendale High School with Sunnyslope leading 7-0. We're watching the Glendale High School Marching Band under the direction of Dan Lindsay. This is one of the more precise marching bands that we've seen, and there are a lot of good ones in this Skyline Conference and in the Metro Conference.
One thing, if you notice in the crowd, Harry, they don't move when the band is playing. Hey, when I went down there, I saw a friend of mine who we used to work with at a radio station many years ago here. His son goes to school here as one of the football players. And everybody in the stands, if you're walking through the crowd or something, they look at you. Why are you walking through the crowd? Aren't you watching the band? They love this band.
Let's see what the flag clan does here. See what kind of routine they have set for us. Get a little Russian touch. Very good. And the crowd stands up, gives them a standing ovation. You see the concentration on the kids' faces. And you'll see coming up real soon in the back of your picture, there are the Sunnyslope Vikings coming back out on the football field. Now they do their little scurry to line up, getting ready for their march off the field with the spirit line. And they spell out GHS. So you take a good look at the H right there in the middle of the field. A little bit of the Guns of Navarone. Gee, I remember my high school band playing this, and it was a new song. There it is, the Guns of Navarone. And the Glendale Cardinals back out on the football field. And as soon as the marching band gets off the football field, we'll be ready for the second half of action. About a minute and a half before we get ready. Well, we'll see if the band can get off the field in that short amount of time.
They
Talking to the Sunnyslope coach before the game, and he says last time when they played here 2 years ago, it was homecoming, and it took 45 minutes before they got back out on the football field. And in those 45 minutes, the referees had to come out and throw a flag on the halftime celebration. Let's look at the quarterback comparisons, and the quarterbacks really hadn't had much luck in the first half of this game. Gene Wright for Glendale, 1 out of 5, 11 yards. That was it. Chad Bilbrey for the Vikings, 1 for 3, 16 yards, and he was intercepted twice.
That was a couple of key turnovers there. Errant passes for sure.
Leading rushers in the game, Lowell Howard for the Vikings, 17 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Jim Heen with 49 yards for Glendale, and Brian Kilpatrick for Glendale with 27 yards. Cardinal rushing overall 16 carries, 86 yards, only an average of 5.4. They need to have a big chunk of that on first down. For the Vikings, 5.9, 23 carries, 136 yards, and a good chunk of that, of course, by Lowell Howard. Cardinal offense, 16 carries, 86 yards, with 1 reception, 11, total offense of 97. And for the Vikings, 136 yards on the ground, 108 that by Howard. 16 yards on 1 completed pass, total of 152. Now, in the first quarter, you see the comparison there of 72 yards to 55 yards, and the time of possession, 7.5 minutes to 4.5 minutes. Let's see the difference at halftime. See the big chunk there, the Vikings, 152 yards overall, 97 for the Cardinals. And the time still, Glendale controlling the football more than the Vikings. But once they get down inside that 10-yard line, they can't punch it in. They're going to have to do that in the second half, and they have a good chance of winning this football game.
Well, I think they have a real good chance of that because Sunnyslope is prone to making mistakes. As you saw, 3 big turnovers in the first half. Unfortunately, Glendale wasn't able to capitalize, but let's hope the coach gave him a big shot somewhere. At halftime, maybe they'll come out tough and want to score.
Okay, we're getting ready now for the kickoff as Sunnyslope will kick to Glendale, opening the second half. The Glendale Cardinal would like to get this football and bring it back on the first drive. It'll be a great boost. Good shot in the arm that they need.
That's the word I was looking for.
And we'll see what happens here as going deep for the Glendale Cardinals. Wide left, number 48, Jimmy Lee. Wide right, Mark Drain, number 40. Getting ready for the second half kickoff. By looking at the clock, it's counting down. It's at 1:25, so they're going to wait another minute, 25 seconds before kicking off. They were getting ready to kick off, and all of a sudden, nope, hold on. We talked about the leading rushers on both sides. Well, Lowell Howard with 108 yards. It was also 17 yards from Tim Willis, 11 from Chad Bilbrey. On the other side for the Cardinals, 49 yards for Jim Heen, who was also 27 for Brian Kilpatrick, and 10 for Mike Castillo. While we're waiting, let's remind you that the high school game of the week on RCPN brought to you in part by Max's, the world's largest sports bar with more football helmets than you've seen anywhere else at one location. And by Arizona Music Center. Remember, back to school means back to band. And Larry Miller, Chrysler, Plymouth, Mazda. Look at the 1989 cars. They're all there at one location. And brought to you in part by the Glendale Star and the Peoria Times. If you want to know what's on Republic Cable, 24 hours a day. It's in the televiewer, available in the Glendale Star and the Peoria Times. Well, we're counting down now to 15 seconds before we're ready for the kickoff.
Well, Harry, if you look at number 75, I don't think he's their normal kicker, is he?
He was out there kicking before the football game, and he was
also
kicking little line drives, and that was about it.
Well, he's a defensive tackle and offensive tackle. That's Don Hagan.
He's a big boy, too.
227 pounds. Let's see what type of kick he has.
6'1" senior. When he was kicking the football, he was getting over the football, so they were line drives. And there's another one. Bounces back to Jim Heen, who was playing one of the up positions. And Glendale will start in fairly good field position, close to the 40-yard line. Chad Roth is now coming in at quarterback for the Cardinals. Last week, Chad Roth split the quarterback duties And he completed 1 out of 6 passes with 1 interception. We'll see what Roth can do here. Andy Harrington wide left. Roth rolls left, rolling, throwing. And it's complete to Harrington at the 41-yard line. A good pass. 19 yards to Harrington.
The official was right on top of that. He threw into pretty good coverage too, Harry. Pass was just thrown very well. Kept it low to prevent the interception. Good pass. And good coverage too. What can you do if you're a free safety or a back? Can't do anything about that.
At the 41-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They're in Sunnyslope territory. A lot of the Cardinal people here at Glendale High School are saying that the Phoenix Cardinals stole their helmets. There's a fumble on the snap. And Roth falling right on top of it. There's no gain on the play, no loss also. But the Cardinals have to be consistent in their plays, hold on to the football, and execute. That's the big word, execute.
Well, I think you're going to see, it looks somewhat different for Glendale, but Sunnyslope's expecting the same thing, the pass.
He's rolling right, and he gets tripped up. One of the defenders was blocked and broke the tackle, and it was one of the guys that was injured earlier in the first half. Kunio Yoshimura.
That's right, he made a great play on that. He was blocked out and just went around him.
A loss of 2 to Chad Roth.
One thing you notice, I guess, with Glendale, and Sunnyslope has got to watch this too, different quarterback, he's a little bit more mobile than the other one. He's going to roll out more.
It's 3rd down. 3rd Sunnyslope quarterback sack tonight, 19 yards in 3 of them. Now rolling back to pass, Roth. And it looked like a screen, but there's a flag thrown intended for Harrington.
Well, we had your basic linebacker blitz there. Looked like Napoleon, and also the nose guard, Yoshimura.
Holding against Glendale. Now, if they decline the penalty, it's going to be a 4th down. There's the starting quarterback, Gene Wright, on the sideline, studying the situation. They are going to decline that penalty, so it'll be 4th down. So the Cardinals will have to punt. The ball at the 44-yard line.
And Sunnyslope's going to try to put some pressure on them because of the snapping situation.
There's the boot. Way back. And goes into the end zone. Boy, for a minute. Yes, it is. It's in the end zone. Had to be touched by someone, I guess. But it rolled into the end zone by about a yard and a half, and I think the Cardinals were hoping that it would roll dead. It did stop when it hit the ground about the 3-yard line, and then rolled right into the end zone and stopped there. So from the 20-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings. They lead 7-0. 9 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Harry Shapiro along with you with Casey Kennedy. And here come the Vikings. Quarterback Chad Bilbrey, number 18. And first man into the line, Tim Willis. And Willis fights forward to the 26.
Well, you take a look at Glendale. They're really not expecting them to pass much. Cardinal defense tonight is allowing an average of 5.9 yards per carry and 16 yards per reception, so that's pretty good for them.
They're holding on, and they forced a couple of turnovers. If they can get some in Viking territory, Glendale may have a chance to move in a little bit sooner. They like to get that football in. There's a fumble.
Glendale's got it.
It looked like Glendale stunting on the front. Forced a fumble, and they have it just as I called. on the 26, and now I think they're going to have the momentum to pull them into the end zone for a touchdown. As a fumble on the snap. That's the 4th Sunnyslope turnover, 2nd fumble on the snap, and there were 2 interceptions.
Well, you see how Glendale's defense has been making those big plays. Again, we can't, you can't stress too much. Glendale's offense has got to take it into the end zone, tie this game up.
Harrington lined up as a tight end.
Sunnyslope's going to put pressure
formation.
on him.
There's a fumble too, and Roth picked it right up, bounced into his hand, and he overthrew the intended receiver, Brian Kilpatrick, out of the backfield. Looked like he was playing basketball on that one. He snapped, dropped the snap, came right back up in his hands, rolled left and overthrew the intended receiver, Brian Kilpatrick.
Kyle Shirk, one of the cornerbacks for the Vikings, put a lot of pressure on him, and lucky he got the ball off at all.
2nd down and 10 from the 26. Cardinals have a great opportunity. See if they can take advantage. Wide right, Mark Drain along with Jimmy Lee, split right. Handoff. One defender is there, and he stops Kilpatrick. One man, that was it, number 52.
That's Brian Belair. Defensive tackle make a great play because they were expecting definitely the pass on that, but he wasn't fooled by it. Good play.
Loss of a yard to Kilpatrick, and that was a good stop because there was no one around him. He would have picked up some good yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and 11 from the 27. Cardinals need a 1st down. They try to get the momentum on their side. Fake handoff, now throwing the pass complete. Gets it to Drain. Drain trying to fight forward, gets inside the 25, and he is down at the 24-yard line. Pickup of 3 to Drain.
Again, it was just good defense by Sunnyslope. The Vikings look very, very tough on defense, as does Glendale look good on defense. Just both teams have a lot of trouble moving it.
Well, it's 4th down and 8. They've got a long way to go for a 1st down. They're going to try. Rolling left, Roth.
He's got enough
He
run.
can keep it. Moves to